Hello, I'm Bruce Whitfield, and welcome to A Seat at the Table, a 360-degree virtual reality experience which gets you to participate in the podcast like you never have before. We've got some of the brightest people in the country discussing some of the most topical and pressing business issues of the moment. So we've reserved for you a seat at the table. Welcome to your seat at the table. Take a seat, get your goggles nice and comfortable, make sure they're sitting just on the bridge of your nose. You happy? Good. Then I can take you around the table and introduce you to everybody. Prof. Jansen, you've heard of him. He's been shaping young minds for decades. Let's just put it that way. We'll do it there. Lebogang Poonyane over here, he is a guy who buys businesses, and so he'll be useful to you. Arlene Mulder, she is the co-founder of We Think Code, teaching people how to think in the future. And then Brinsley du Plessis over there at the end of the table, if you turn right, yeah, you see him there, Brinsley. He's at Nedbank. So you've taken your seat at the table at a really important part of the conversation, which is all about the coexistence of machines and people in the workplace. Will machines be jealous? Will machines go to the machine water cooler and gossip about the humans? I mean, what is it going to look like, Arlene?
It's going to be exciting. I am excited that the machines will be doing everything that I had to do. If I had to do something more than once, now a machine will do it.
And doing the jobs that you don't want to do.
Exactly. And I'll be freed up to now just analyze the information and come up with crazy, cool ideas.
Which is fine if they're only doing the jobs that you don't want to do. The risk, and most people, Brinsley, and people within a bank, for example, and people within this organization are feeling threatened by is, there are menial tasks that I resent and that I do, but they form part of my 45-hour work week for which I am paid. And if, R2-D2 does it quicker and better than I do with greater accuracy, well, that takes away half my reason for existence, and I have no other skills to fall back on. It's a threat.
Yes, you'll be surprised. And when we engage with employees, they're the first to recognize that this job can be done better to create more value for the customer, either in terms of turnaround time and also quality. What they really look for is just to make sure you engage with us and take us on this journey and just help us on how we survive and thrive, as I said early on, and what are the new techniques and skills and knowledge that we need to take up the new roles. And what you will find is that those staff wants to do routine things that are prone with errors and failure, because you have customers shouting at them. But you could have augmented robotics, where it then hands off the work that then requires the human intervention in terms of the thinking and making decision, and just allows them to do more processing of things that customers really want. And it's really just finding that balance and also having those courageous conversations with employees and just taking them along on the journey, which is quite key. So for me, it's important that besides giving them digital tools on how to code, you also need to make sure they've got the right technologies and the environments that for them to actually work in this new environment and world.
And Prof, the biggest risk surely for any organization is falling behind, because the trend is going to happen whether you choose to participate actively in it or not right now. The trend is towards greater robotics, the greater mechanization or automation of the mundane. Employ people who have got the skills to expand beyond their current task.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen so many friends of mine in the San Francisco Bay Area fall into and out of jobs as the technology develops. But what they have is a set of skills, an orientation to work, the adaptability, that I like to speak about, that enables them to land on their feet all the time. So I don't see the threat here. The real dilemma is having your education system, both in schools and universities, prepare that kind of thinking, that enables you to harness technology.
But in South Africa, we're still very much in the mentality of a job for life.
Oh, no, absolutely. And that is going to sink us, I mean, just to give you one simple example, it's very simple, but appeals to me in the university environment. If you go into bookshops around the world, university bookshops, they no longer sell books.
Yep.
They sell paraphernalia, they sell caps of the university and so forth, because the easiest thing to do is to get this online and, and you pick it up at the local Safeway in a box, you know, and so on and so forth. I like that, of course, but it does mean you now have to think differently about, you know, first of all, how you produce books, you know, and how you read those books, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it's very exciting times ahead. My big dilemma is that, as I said, you know, we're so busy catching up that I don't think we'll ever be able to.
But there will be a segment of society, though, that is going to participate in that Palo Alto type of culture.
No, there is. And I mean, I can take you to the schools right now in South Africa, you know, in which that kind of thinking is resident. The challenge for us is, how do you make all our schools respond to this kind of challenge? Because what this means is the rich get richer in technological terms, you know, and that's more percentage.
And financially too. I mean, it actually broadens the divide.
And that is fine. And that is fine. But I also think we have so much human potential in this country to unlock if we can just broaden the base to participate in that kind of thinking.
Not every, I mean, Anne Bernstein, whatever you think of the Centre for Development and Enterprise, says in South Africa we need to create the jobs that we need for the skills that we have, not the jobs we want for a future that's not necessarily ours. Something along those lines. Again, if you are our FD, you're not necessarily going to be playing in this 21st century economy. Your industry may be a 20th century industry, and you may be very happy making nuts and bolts.
Yeah, but the reality is the majority of the tasks that are happening, even within a 20th century company like a manufacturing business, can be replaced by a robot, right? Or can be,
and should be.
Robot, and it should be. And as an investor, for me, it's important that it is, because the opportunity on the other side of that is that operationally you're more efficient, right? And therefore the type of people that then need to work within the robotic space need to be multidisciplined, so they can do more than just this one job that they're hired to do.
And I can't think of any business that doesn't want to do more. I can't think, Arlene, of any business that wants to be stuck where it is right now. If you do want to be stuck where you are right now, well, please switch off. Because that's not the purpose. You need to grow. You need to evolve.
I couldn't agree more. I think one of the most important skills today is learning how to learn and being open to adapt.
Exactly.
Absolutely. The one thing we know is everything is going to change. And I think people are scared because you're scared of what you don't know. And you know this little thing that I can do now, and you're scared of this AI robot coming to do my job. But if you look at things differently and you see the opportunity and you're open to that change, you'll see opportunity instead of a threat.
The most important thing, I suppose, in the 21st century is to be as little like a robot as possible. So skill yourself up, get the people in your organization to think better and to be more adaptable, and you've got a great 21st century business. Thanks, panel. Thanks very much indeed.